rewards can be as simple as thank yous. Handwritten thank yous are a massive thing. An email that says thank you is one thing. A handwritten, if somebody does something really big in your company and it was something very helpful to you, especially when you're in those senior leadership positions, a note is an incredible thing. I mean, handwritten means something, especially now when it happens so rarely. Okay. That comes, and some of that comes down to the leadership of how I do it. So employees are motivated. So one of the definitions between manager and leader, managers like to get stuff done, and they like to be right, and they like to have their tasks executed the way they want them done. Leaders like to get stuff done. They like to do what is right, not necessarily be right, but do what is right for the company. And they want to make sure that the people who work for them are positively getting things done. If you have a voice, you want to still have your voice get out there. And I'm going to ignore the two guys here for a minute. That's even more important for women in business. You have a voice. Don't let people just ride over it. You got to be able to give your voice. But you also have to be able to listen and understand what's going on in the point in your career. Believe in what you're doing. I will say one thing that's, I think, is vitally important as you go into your career. So you guys are in your early 20s, I think, right? Everybody's at least 20, right?
My 19.
Oh, close enough. I'll roll with that. Your early jobs are different. If you can't see where it's going, I'm working here, I'm working hard, I'm spending all this. If you can't see where it's going and you don't like it, and I don't mean just to like, are there days when I come home and the day was not a good day? Yeah, absolutely, that still happens. It's happened for 30 years, so probably happen for the next 15 years too. But in general, if you're waking up and you're dreading going to work, that's not a good sign. That's not sustainable. That's how you end up being 40 years old and burned out of your position and not knowing what you're going to do next. That's not good. Identify that. Try to identify that as early as you can. If it literally is a struggle on Monday morning to get up and go to work, start evaluating what you're doing. Is there something you need to change in you? Is there something that has to happen in your company? Is this just not the company you should be working for?
Right.
That's a really, really big one. People will ask, oh, you work at something you're really interested in. You know, one of the challenges is showing that you were selected for a reason, and that you indeed are the person that they should have chosen. I can't give you a hard example of how you do that, other than by stressing competence, stressing honesty, stressing believability, reliability, all sorts of things. That means as you're interacting with these staff to whom you are brand new, you're the new person in. You have to show that you're willing to listen to what they do. You have to be believable, meaning when you're giving them information, it can't be something that is patently not correct. If they know, if the staff you're coming in to work for knows that what you're saying just isn't right, not even a matter of philosophy, it just isn't right, you're never going to overcome that. I've watched that happen to someone coming into a role where they had a theory and they came in and said, here's what we're going to do, and it was just patently not correct. And I watched that person just flame out. There's nothing you can do. You'll never recover from that. So you have to show you're competent and humble. You have to be able to show that if you're talking to accounting and you don't understand something, you have to be willing to either look it up and learn it yourself, or just straight up raise your hand and ask, oh, wait a minute, you just said that, what do you mean? are certain tricks in that too, that if you're a new company, you can always ask, well, I know how we did this at wherever, how do you do it here? Sometimes you find out more than you thought doing